Cindy, I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at lesson 13 of our Tangled Ribbon Flower Project. It is not going to be unlucky, it's going to be lots of fun. And today we are going to be doing this cool tangle by Tomàs Padrós. And he is a CZT in Barcelona, Spain, and an awesome dude. This is called All Stars, and let me show you how this is going to go. Okay, in the step out, Tomàs begins with a dot grid, a square dot grid. And that is cool. I decided to leave that step off because I didn't feel like I needed it. However, if you would like to, you may start with a square grid of dots, okay? The next step then would be to make those dots into these short little straight lines that are going to alternate their direction in a perpendicular fashion. So each of your dots, if you chose to use them, would be become part of this line. And you don't want them to be very big necessarily, and that's something that you can adjust as you go. So I'm just going to fill this all the way up with these, sort of give you a good idea of how this pattern is going to work. Okay? So now let's make these into little rice shapes. I'm going to do all one direction first and then turn my tile and do the other. You can round these or skinny these as much as you want. Just probably want them to be, uniform. Keep them consistent with each other, whatever way you decide to do them. The pointier the ends are on these, the more difficult a perfect curve between them will become. All right. So take some deep breaths while you're doing this. You want to take your time. I skipped a whole row, didn't I? Try to make the inking process part of your Zen. When you start looking at it as part of your Zen, you stop looking at it as something you need to rush through. And that's a pivotal point. And a lot of that is an attitude shift. I know for me at least it was. Just changing the way I viewed it. I always viewed it as something bad, and of course it is. I'm just kidding. As something, it's going to take forever. That's how I viewed inking. And now I really am forcing myself to slow down and actually find something that I can enjoy about the process. Really enjoy doing a nice, good coverage, making sure there are none of those little annoying white spots that you get, those stars. Oh, you guys have such a wonderful way of looking at things. I saw a comment from somebody in Mexico City. I don't know how old that comment was, but they said they had been all shut down for the next 51 days. Goodness, we need to have another 100 days of Zentangle this year, don't we? Maybe we should do that. The question is, could I survive? Maybe. Maybe. If we worked on maybe keeping the videos shorter, I might be able to handle it. We'll see. Well, I've got a great big one up here. This is why you want to sort of keep them uniform. But let's try this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to connect each of these shapes with S-curves. We're going to connect the ones that are pointing the same direction, okay? So what I'm going to do here first is start here and make a nice S-curve over here and connect that, okay? And I'm going to keep doing that on all of the ones that are turned up in this way. Okay? So I'm going to go down to the next row. Okay, this one's going to go off. Yes. Keep going down. And each one of these that points vertically, these are the ones that I'm attacking here, connecting. Okay, and so this row, this will go on out. Just put a nice S shape in there, and you will have it. Okay. That was a little ugly. All right, now let's turn our tail 90 degrees. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to cross this line, and we're going to fill them all in, okay? So S curves, like that. And Cindy, slow down on that landing. There, that's better. Okay, that one's going to go up. All right, next row down. Now, I know that there are a lot of lines and a lot of spaces and all of that, and it's going to start to get confusing. What I want you to focus on is going from element to element and row to row and just let the rest of it fade away, okay? So we are connecting the vertical elements to each other, right? Okay, so we have done all of this first row. We've connected them all. Now we're going to come down here, and we're going to pretend that there's one over here that we can connect. Okay? And we're going to go to the next one, the next vertical one, and connect. Okay? Next vertical one. Connect. Okay? Next row down, we want the vertical ones. And connect. Vertical. Take off and land, and take your time. All right, I'm just going to do this one. Okay, next row down. Okay, next vertical. Next vertical. Right. Next row down. Next vertical. And we're connected. Okay. All right, now let's see what we needed over here that I didn't do. Okay, so on these, I'm going to pretend there's one to connect up here. I'm going to go ahead and cross these over as if I'm going off. So then I'm going to turn this and keep doing that because it's not going to matter. These are all going to function the same way. The only difference is the way that the tile is turned. Okay. And I think we've got it. All right. So that wasn't too bad, was it? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come everywhere where we have crossed these lines, and we're going to round between them. So we've got a sort of a little diamond shape. So let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, just going to round that curve off, or that point off, like this, just like that. And you can make this larger or you can make it tiny. It's up to you. You have creative license. So each one of these, we're going to ink each place where these lines cross. We're going to do this little rounding thing. And if you take your time now, you won't have a lot to clean up later. Right? Well, that one got a little big, but it's okay. Okay. I've got a few more down here. Okay. All right. I think I got them all. So now what we have are these cool little sort of star shapes, like ninja stars, which is where he got the inspiration for this pattern. And you can now go each place where you've got these and you can clean your lines up. You can, ink in any spots that you missed. Just sort of pretty things up until you're satisfied. Simba is excited. I don't know why, but he's excited. Probably somebody walking on the street. Goodness. What are they thinking being outside? He takes his security very seriously. Unless people offer to pet him and then he's their dog. All right, so that's where we're at now, the final step that Tomàs has. And this step promotes the feeling of overlap here. Okay, so what he does then is he draws, let's see, I should probably have something else up here, but anyway, what he does is he draws a line or across each one of these like this. Just a thin line. What this does is it promotes that overlapping feeling, except, of course, when I do it like this and it looks like a mess, but you get where I'm going. And he had some amazing embellishment examples on his step out art on Tangle Patterns. You can also follow him on Instagram. He always publishes his patterns there first on his Instagram account, and he is at Tomàs_Padrós. And so you should definitely check him out, follow him. He always has the best stuff. And he's a very kind person. He's a wonderful man. Do not be afraid to. And he's a recent CZT, so yay for Tomàs. I knew when I first interviewed him way back several years ago that he was going to be big on the scene. And he is. I feel very fortunate to have had that opportunity to get to know him. So I hope you guys will take that chance too. And you can curve your lines in here, and I usually go with the flow, you know, whatever the pattern gives me, I sort of go with it. Well, the motorcycle is off and running. Whoops. I think this pen is about out of ink. I cannot imagine why. Also, on his step out art on Zentangle Patterns, he has some lovely examples of this. He has one on a Renaissance tile, a tan tile, that he did with brown and black. So I'm a big fan of his. Can you tell? Okay. That's it, guys. Now, you can do whatever you want to in each of these little ninja star type looking things, and I mean, embellish to your heart's content. And he has such lovely ideas for embellishing these that you should check them out. And what I want to do next is sort of give you some tips on shading on this. So for shading on this, one of the big places you're going to want to do is right here. Okay, that's a little heavy, but I'll blend it out. Where these lines are perpendicular, that's where you're going to want to shade. Okay, and shade on the side that looks like it's going underneath. All right. You don't have to do this big and dark. Of course, I probably will, because that's me. But you may do, you know, very subtle, and Tomàs has, on his examples, very subtle shading, but it's very effective. Mine will be more subtle once it's blended. So what we're doing by this shading is we're giving the impression that these elements are going beneath each other. Okay, they're woven. Yeah. I have trouble going in order. It's a personal issue, guys. And by the way, to the one that says I'm one of the one of you who said I'm one of the ones that one of the 10 that watches to the end. Oh, that was Cecilia. Thank you, Cecilia. I appreciate you. She's one of the 10 that watches my videos to the end. I made a joke a while back about there are about 10 of you that do that. They're the few, the proud, the ones that watch till the end. And, you know, I tell you guys some interesting stuff sometimes. Of course, sometimes it's pretty boring. Sometimes I fall asleep when I'm editing them. And that tells me the boredom factor is way up there. But if you're looking for something to calm your nerves, you're in the right place. All right. So this is really simple to shade. You just got to shade everywhere where your lines are perpendicular, come perpendicular to each other, right? You want to shade dark against the line, and then lighten your pressure as you come away. And that is the same for pencil or Verithin, colored pencil or graphite pencil, either way will work. So dark in by the line, and then lighten the pressure on your pencil as you come out. You have a fairly decent shade. Of course, I like to get mine really dark on the line. Because no matter how dark I make it, I come back in later and think, that just needs more. It's a sickness, I admit it. It's a sickness. I blame Annie Oken. It was so much fun. I love that lady so much. She's such a good teacher. If you ever needed a teacher that was so positive and so caring and so invested in her students' success, that is your girl. She is amazing and so supportive and full of good information. Yeah, this is kind of hard to do over here. Yeah, it's a little time consuming, but the key to that is if you don't want to do this many, then what you do is you make them bigger. And space further apart. Then you have lots of room to embellish and less shading to do, which is always good for me. Every time I think I'm getting to the end, I turn the tile and there's a bunch more. I did the dark on the line with my ink pen on that one. Unintentional. So anywhere your lines are perpendicular, just go get it. Okay, where did I miss? I'm sure I missed something. Those of you that keep an eye on me, I know it's there. I just haven't found it yet. There it is. There's one. Okay, I'm not going to sing today, I promise. I promise. No more Simon and Garfunkel. It's a good song, though, right? I don't know. I feel I need to do something over here, but I don't know, so I'm going to leave it. You know, you don't get in trouble for leaving it. All right. At least not initially. All right, so let me quickly, hopefully, blend this out a little bit. Wow, that's a lot of color over there. Did not mean to do it like that, but we're just going to go. Maybe this had some graphite on it. So I'm not doing my best work, but when we're done, you should be able to tell what the idea here is. And, you know, I'm going to leave the amazing works of art to you guys who are so freaking talented. And here's one I missed. And I'm just going to, you know, do my thing. I know my art isn't perfect. And I have come to terms with that. Mostly. Mostly. I'm mostly happy with what I do. Well, I missed several spaces, didn't I? Hard not to do when you don't go in order, Cindy. Okay, well, this is supposed to be a demonstration. It's taken forever. All right. Well, it's a lot of shading. But here we are, All Stars by Tomàs Padrós. Let's put it in our tangled ribbon petal. All right, so let me get my brown 01 and let's put this baby in here. I think this is going to be a lot of fun to play with, and let's find out. It'll be exciting. It's always exciting with me. I'm going to have lots of cool color play in here, so hopefully I can do a decent job with this. No promises. All right, make sure I'm in frame. So, I'm just going to start very simply, and I'm going to put these sort of far apart, well, at least for me. I'm going to start like this, leave a little room. Okay. And now as my ribbon starts getting larger, I'm going to have room to put in a hint of another one over here. Yeah. So we're just going to kind of go with the flow. And we can add in elements as we go, as we have more room. What I'm going to do, I think, is do my three that are in the center and keep those lined up. And then as I work this out, then I think I'll put more in, but I still want these elements to be lined up, right? Like this. Except I probably shouldn't have done that. Almost certainly I shouldn't have done that. I can tell you it won't turn out well. All right. Okay, we're going to have a little hint over there. All right, so luckily we did it right. Okay, and so we'll have a little bit of this. Right. Oops, that was too close, but we're going to go with it. All this room over here, and now we've got them all packed in. Let's give us a little bit more room now that it's done. Okay, and then we'll pretend those are off the page. And then over here, it's not really going to matter. We can do what we want. So I think I'm going to put this here and this here and this here and this here. We'll do it like that. Okay. So now I'm going to go through and make my little, carefully make my little rice shapes. And I'm going to do all one direction first. Going to try to keep them all consistent. This is again a challenge for me. Simba. Mommy's working, buddy. Okay, last one. Yay. I wasn't rushing yet. Okay, so I think on this one, I'm going to start by joining these in the center. And I'm going to try not to get lost in this, okay? Try your best to go in order and don't screw around like, like I tend to do. All right, here we go. And then I'm going to fill in with ink anything extra and make sure I made a nice, neat join, okay? S shape. Take off and land. Do your little prettying up. And then over here. Take off and land. Okay. I'm going to take off here, but I don't have any place to land. Over there I'm homeless. Now I can land. Okay, and also I want to do these so that later I don't get confused. Right? We're going to pretend we have another one up there that it's hooked up to, and then we're also going to do this and join it up to this fictitious one that we can't see over here. Okay, all right, now nice S shape, taking off and landing, inking around, making it pretty, and then making another one off. Okay, right here, go off, and over and down in an S shape, making those nice and pretty. Sometimes the pretty doesn't happen for me. Oh, I forgot one up here, which is these. I bet that made somebody nuts, didn't it? Sorry about that, guys. I don't do it on purpose. Sometimes it's just me. Now that looks right. And it should look sort of like stair steps coming down, right? Okay, so this one is going to go off up here, come down here. Nice S shape. Prettify, if I might be so bold. And keep going. S shape, take off and land. There you go. There we go. And then we're going to take this off. Okay, now turn it on its side, right? We're going to go the other way. So, taking off and landing, right? And we want this to sort of come through the center of this line. That's our goal. I'm going to do that. Hopefully we'll end up with something we can use here. All right. Let's take off and land. Oops. Prettify, if possible. Okay. All right. See if we can get it all. This one's kind of close. But that's all right. We'll deal. All right. So they should start at the top and go down and come off the bottom, right? Whatever order you decide to do them in. But you want to handle each one the same way. Okay. Yeah. That went surprisingly well. Okay. All right, and here. These end up looking like fescue to me. That's just me, though. Assuming I didn't mess anything up anywhere or forget anything like down here. Let me just do this real quick. I'm going to start up here. And I am going to, let's see, and this goes out this way. So I'm going to draw in my, now this part you do not have to do. This is more of an embellishment type of thing, the little crossed lines. However, he used them to great effect in his drawings on this. And so I'm trying to decide what type of an embellishment I want to use in these. Because whatever it is, it should be effective. Oh, but first, let me go in here and round off these crossed points here like I'm supposed to. Simba is really wound up by something going on. And maybe the neighbors have got friends over. He doesn't like that. He thinks that all visitors should be approved by him first. That means, of course, playing and petting him. We had somebody over here the other day who was trying to sell us pest control, and we already have a service. And he was just so nice to Simba. He really knows how to push my buttons. So I ended up changing. Okay. Simba is a good judge of character. What can I say? He should make all my business decisions. Simba. Honey, could you please try to coax Simba away from the window? Or not? Sim, I need you to stop that business. Please and thank you, buddy. Please and thank you. Oh, got the shakies. Oh, looky there. I'm gonna round some of this right off. See, just don't worry about stuff. Just don't worry. Nobody's gonna notice or care, probably, except for yourself. And your vote doesn't get to count. Now, I don't know where this went wrong here, but I'm gonna leave it and not worry about it, because there is nothing to connect it to, so it's just in there. All right, now I think that I'm going to start with some kind of an aura here. And I want to start with one of these regular whole ones so that I can figure out what I want to do. So I think what I'll do is sort of do a sort of hollabah-ish type of aura. This might make it look funky. I don't know. We're going to find out. And you guys know I should never try these things while I'm here. And I think I'm just going to put an orb in the middle of it for now. We'll see what happens. It gives me the opportunity for a jelly roll. All right, so again, I'm going to try to aura this in a sort of a Huggins fashion. All right, and since I can't see the rest of it, I'm not going to make it up. So basically, I'm going to start by these little rice shapes and aura from there. Okay, yeah, I think that'll be good. Barely make it around that one. Still, it's all right. Oops. Slow down. Anybody else singing Simon and Garfunkel with me right now? Are you feeling groovy, guys? Let me hear some from you guys that are groovy. All right. I'll get people's minds off of the messy rice shapes and focused on this other cool stuff that's happening. And of course, once we shade it, maybe do a little color enhancement, have something cool. I like it when auras are short, and I feel like I can control them. It's when their length is long that I have to really struggle. I like short curved lines. That's what seems to be easiest for me. However, you know, different things for different people here. So I don't know what to do with this. But I'm just going to go around it. Looky there. Now it's interesting. I won't call it dynamic because that might be stretching the truth. It's definitely interesting. Maria Thomas says, when in doubt, aura. So there you go. I was doubting. Oh, please tell me I've been in frame. Yeah. Yeah, I like this. This is going to be fun and cool. A little bit more thinking than I like to do. But still, I think this is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. Okay, so I'm going to come through here and pretend this is the center of this. Try to do this on each one in the imaginary middle here. Okay, not seeing any of those. See, it's cool. When I was studying singing in college, my teacher always said, if you're going to make a mistake, do it intentionally. Do it big. Make it seem like you're doing it on purpose. That's what you want. Because most people don't know enough to know better. So those are words to live by, I'm telling you. Be bold in your approach. Something goes wrong, be bold. Own it. Do it. Sometimes that's a big mess. Sometimes you manage to fake your way through really well. And that's really what life's about, faking your way through, isn't it? Well, at least for me it has been. All right, so this is not bad. I don't mind this at all. Let's do our aura-ing back here. Oh, I forgot to also to do my rounding. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I like it. Let's see where we're at. What do you guys think? So for me, it's fun, and this gives me the opportunity to play in here with color without worrying about shading elements, right? So let's drag out the my little Verithin bunch here. All right, so I have added a couple of colors to my repertoire today. And so today I'm going to be using the light cerulean blue in Verithin, Prismacolor Verithin, the peacock blue perhaps, the Parma violet perhaps, almost certainly, and still the blue violet, the true green, and the aquamarine, and the magenta, okay? I'll leave this color race off the menu today. So this is my arsenal of colors, and I am just going to be led by the background and see what I end up with. And I'll start over here with some green. And what I'm going to do is just deepen the shade that is already there. So if the background looks green, I'm going to put green in. Just going to sort of color in that section. First, though, I'm going to want to lift out the color, or the pencil graphite here from my lines when I started this drawing. So I don't want any of my guidelines to mess with my color later. All right, now we can do it. You can get the color down in the tooth better if it's not over graphite. Okay, so I think now I need a darkish blue, which I've got my blue violet. That's a pretty close match. And by deepening the color, we're sort of just enhancing what's already there. Okay, so that's green. And I think I'm going to use some, what is it? Peacock blue. which is a blue-green, or more blue, more to the blue spectrum, and I'm just going to put that in right there. Then over here, this is a lighter blue, so I'm going to, which is in reality just a couple of mixing shades. So, all right, now let's come over here where we've got a lighter shade of green. Okay, I think I'll use the peacock blue here. It's a bit of a darker blue, but it still has a greenish tint, which is going to blend really well with this. Okay, I'm trying to decide what blue to use where here. So down here, let me back up here. Let's go back up here. Let's go ahead and put green in here. That's what we have predominantly in this area. Sorry, my hand is shaking. Starting to twitch. Oh, you can't see it. That works. That works for me. All right. Let's see. I think I'll come down here and add my green in down here, just to sort of spruce it up. I'm just smoothing this over. I'm not digging very hard. And again, I really like these Verathins for this type of work. So, let's see what to do next. I think I'll take this peacock blue down here, where we've sort of got some blue-green play. By coloring in this way, we're also bringing these little elements together. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and use this here. This seems to work well with my color mix on the background. And once I'm sure of what I want to do here, because of course I can erase this if I want, but once I'm sure, then I can use my blending solution on here and really let the color down deep into the tooth. And then it will not be erasable at that point. Just really depends on what you want to do here. All right, so now we're shifting to a lighter blue. So let me get my light cerulean. That's what I have now. Light cerulean blue. This will even out the color also from the background. I mean, I really like the weird textury quality I've got going on, don't get me wrong. But you know, it also doesn't hurt to, you know, pump up the volume a little bit here, you know, juice it up, make it nice. My point is getting dull. I want your pencils to be sharp, sharp, sharp. It's so funny, in that online class I did with Annie Oken yesterday, she has the same type of pencil sharpener that I got. We just have different models, and I found that really funny. Mine gets them sharper than hers, but she liked hers because the sharpener part would take her big pencils, but even including her pencil extenders, if you know what those are. When your pencils get really short, you have those little metal things or wooden things that you can put them in. Okay, so here I think we're starting to go more towards the purple. So I'm going to take my Perma Violet, which I haven't used here before, And I'm just gonna kind of go in here and make this a little bit more purpley. It's one of my favorite things is more purple. I think the world should have more purple in it. Purple is an awesome color. It just goes with everything. So, you know. And of course, I will go over these multiple times, as I always do. And as I turn towards blue here, I will come back in with my blue violet. That'll make a perfect transition here. And I will lift some of these spots out with my Tombow Mono Zero eraser. That little thing is so handy. I'll tell you, if you don't have one, you should get one. Not all that expensive. You can get them on Amazon. They're from Tombow, and it's called a Mono Zero eraser. And trust me, they have them. All right, so these are going towards the blue, so I may start adding in a little bit of the blue violet here in these. Although these go back to more blue up here, we'll switch to maybe the peacock as we go. Let's see. I have been very pleased with the way these are turning out with the different colors, sort of the pastel mishmash that we've got going on. So I don't know what you guys think of that, but it's working for me. And as always, I remind you to do whatever you wish with your art. It is yours. It is one of those things that only you can do. Only you can decide what goes there and what doesn't. So what you think is important. And sometimes for those of us that don't have a lot of control in our lives right now, that is a beautiful thing. Be able to control your art a bit. I'm going to leave that little natural highlight there. Sort of go around it. And I think I'll start up here with this, but then I will go and change to my peacock green. Or my cerulean blue. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that'll work. And this is my peacock blue. This is really a nice shade of blue. Okay. And feel free to play with blending your colors in this way. If you want a little purple in there, add some purple in there. The reason I chose these this palette is because they all blend and work beautifully together. So you can really do whatever you want to. So I'm going to take my blue violet pencil now and add some shading in back here. Start the shading process. And of course, I will bring in my black Verithin here in a minute and finish it off. Okay. This will give us a hint to begin with. All right. Now, I'm going to grab my my black Verithin and finish up my shading. And then we'll dot in a little bit of jelly roll here on these little orbs, and maybe pick up some of the pigment with the Mono Zero that we've got, and we'll be done for today, which is awesome. Got another pretty addition to our flower. We'll have to take a wider view here in a minute. You might be asking why we did so much work on here if we were just going to cover it up with black. And the answer is because we are good artists and we care about our outcome, and so we might as well do things right. Okay, so shading wise, of course, perpendicular lines. That is the perfect place to shade, on perpendicular lines. Okay. Now we'll probably come back over here with the blue violet and sort of ease that black a little bit into the color scheme, but this is an important part of this, making this work. And it goes from flat to 3D, and that's a big deal. Of course. And we've already got quite a bit of colored pencil in there, so you may struggle with a couple of spots, but it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too bad. Saturday night at the races. We have a bunch of kids that love to race their cars around here on Saturday nights. The police are always out looking for them, but they do it anyway. You know, when I was that age, I had a lot better things to do with my time than running up and down the street in a car. But I'm old, so what do I know? It wasn't so dangerous, and if they didn't mix drugs and alcohol with it, it wouldn't bother me so much, I don't think. But they do. And it's not just their lives, it's lives of other people around. But it's their lives too. So, not my problem, so I'm going to try not to worry about it today. Just talking. Because what do I know? I'm old. I get told that all the time, so I might as well be old. Old and proud. Proud I survived. Proud I survived my own stupidity for this many years. Sometimes it's amazing. Sometimes when I look back on some of the things I've done in my life, I am amazed that I am still here. I'm amazed they're going to let me parent this little boy. I'm amazed I've been doing it for 4 years and not gone insane. I'm amazed he loves me anyway. Can you hear the or do I coming out of there? He is so ornery. Oh, that's gorgeous. What do you guys think of this? I really like it. Okay, so like I said, I'll be coming back through here and emphasizing a bunch of this stuff. And of course, at the end of the project, I'll be doing another run through on everything too. I'm looking for my white jelly roll. See if we can pop some color into these tiny little orbs. And we'll be done for today. Really like how this turned out. What do you guys think? Of course, I need to blend my shading a little bit. Some of these spots are a little iffy. But overall, looks like I missed a spot or two too. Once you get it blended out, it's not quite such a mess, which is what these little things are for. There. All right, so jelly roll. Start at the bottom and move up. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and tap in just a little bit this back element, even though it's not supposed to be as dark. Or, I mean, it's supposed to be darker. I can always shade over that if it's too much. So, let me zoom out. Let's get a look at this. All right, what do you guys think? I think it turned out really well, and I may do some more work in here. I may clean up some of these arid places. I don't know, I might even use some jelly roll in there to sort of pop things out, but this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going to leave you today. We've just got 3 more petals and the center to do, so much fun ahead. And I am looking forward to getting back to our other formats. So thank you so much for being with me today, and I'm going to see you guys in the next lesson, okay? Keep checking in with me. And members, don't forget to be checking on the community tab. We have new videos up there for you. Okay, I'll see you guys soon.